hit the live button. Let's see here. Once it comes up, it has come up. As Corey's busy looking at his phone.
Now, are you talking about the stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, the stream is up. We are up and at it.
Oh no, that's scary.
No, it's not.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's great. You won. Shut up, Jordan. You shut up. I want to hear nothing out of you.
I finished second.
Oh, I finished second. Look at me. Look at me. I finished second. I was so mad because I qualified 11th, and I was like, oh my god, look, I was almost top 10. Someone dies. I think Ty died, like first lap, in front of me. Oh, cool, 10th, and then second lap, I die in turn 1. I guess cold tires. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
But
easy to do.
as soon as I hit the gas, I'm dead, and then I parked right in front of everybody and God as you two just sail off into the fucking distance. And then I spent the rest of the race back with the squirrels, trying not to die.
There's a lot of squirrels.
You were up front the whole time. You don't get to say there was a lot of squirrels.
I got to find the squirrels when I was going around.
That's true. He did.
Yeah, but they moved out of your way.
Not all of them.
Who didn't? Who didn't?
Let's see. What I want to say it was the 5 or no.
Jacob said squirrel is his middle name.
I don't remember exactly. There were a couple that were that way, and every time I was around Jeff, even though he got out of my way, I was always like, even in the Discord chat, just like, I gotta get around you, man. You are scaring me just by the way your car is moving.
Ennis is flooding my chat with nothing but emotes.
Hey, there's emojis.
There you go.
You got it. Hey, this
activity. We love it.
Viewer interaction. We love it.
Viewer interaction. This is what I'm here for.
There you go.
I still maintain bomb that fucking track. Hate it.
From watching Xfinity practice earlier, I changed my mind. I think it's actually going to be a good race with the new layout. Not the layout we ran, but the national, I think they're calling it.
You know what? I'm changing this. I don't care if people see my shit in the background. I'm going to reset my camera. It gets blurry. Because, yeah, my room's dirty. I don't give a fuck. Sorry. But see, Ennis agreed with me. He said bomb the track. Only you and Michael were like, no, track's fine. No, hate that place. Get rid of it.
As far as like racing it was more one of the more difficult road courses that NASCAR has done. Especially, well, I guess it's just iRacing, but the that chicane section was
one lane win by 20 seconds.
Just because I was able to get it done doesn't mean that.
Jacob said Jordan runs an ARC car on the next road course.
There you go.
I said give him an EOL. He has to start in the back.
No, because he'll run back up. You remember Chicago?
There's a lot smaller field in Chicago.
No, you still made up that gap.
Oh god, they found my sound alerts. They found my sound alerts.
Not only that at Chicago though, but it was like a 20-something car field, and most of the field couldn't stay on the track, so it was just able to drive through it.
Most?
Hey, it's fun. I'm gonna say it's funny to think about it now, because I think when you and Tyler Lim had that beef, now you are teammates this year.
That was one of the first things when he was asking me to be a teammate. I was like, wow. You do remember me putting you in the wall at Indy, our little beef at Chicago?
Like, you're little?
Yeah.
Little beef? Sure. Not sure that was
I don't know.
A little beef
I don't know.
You had there.
I think with Lim and Eric is probably the best one. What was it? Was it Martinsville? And you had Tyler Lim. He's like, that 12 can. I forget what he said. It could something fucks or something like that. I can't remember what he exactly said, but it was hilarious.
I mean,
Um,
it was Martinsville. We all died. If I remember correctly, somebody in here parked it.
oh, the spring race, yeah.
Mm.
Corey
Because we was
said,
already
"Fuck
20
it, I'm parking it."
Oh yeah, by halfway because we was like 20 cautions in, and I'm like, I ain't wasting more of my time here. So, yeah. And then
Someone's
I didn't even show up for Texas the next week.
I put this in one of my other discords and apparently he's really meat riding me here.
Yo, is that Jordan the Goat Winsel? You mean Jordan who struggles to win on anything that's not a road course Winsel?
Oh shit! Do we gotta pull up the late,
Late
model
models
series?
don't count.
Do we
They
gotta
don't
pull up
count.
Okay, how about Las Vegas or Bristol?
Oh, you got lucky. Fuel strategy.
Hey, I won the Las Vegas.
We're not talking about you. We're talking about him.
Well,
what about
still.
the Daytona, Atlanta? I think there was a Talladega win in 2023.
I wasn't here for that. So if there was,
yeah,
whoopee.
I think I actually pushed Winslow to one of those wins. I think
it was at Dega. You could have just went low and won that race, but you're like, I'm just not comfortable enough with this car yet, and you just pushed me to the win.
Was it Dega or Atlanta? No, it was Dega. You're right.
It was Dega because Atlanta was my first ever league win in anything on iRacing. And
Yeah.
Travis was behind me, and I'm like, Travis, please push me.
Well, you know, if somebody had kept turning left that last year's second Daytona instead of going straight.
I mean, the wheel was pointed straight. The car behind him was
Where's that soundbite at?
Pretty buried in my ass.
You can find it. It's towards the bottom.
You fucking kept turning up on me.
I wasn't turning up. I was turning left.
Oh, I was turning left. Oh, look, it's Mr. Who's this guy? Mr. Thing to suck tonight and finish. Yeah. Corey. Say he's going to suck all night and he finishes second.
Hey, it works.
Does it, though?
Well, yeah, because I finished second.
You know, I like the first half of the race better than the second, just because, you know, we were able to push, and then second half was fuel save the entire time.
Yeah.
I just came in the pit and said, screw it. I'm not fuel saving at a road course.
Well, on that, before we got to the final stage, I saw where I was like 2.8 short, and I'm thinking, shit. So I would just clutch it at that point and got down to 2.3. And at that point, I was like, well, I guess I'll just drive this like a Formula One car and just lift when you go past the start finish line, and then just coast all the way through to turn one, and then just go on from there. And I think it helped. But that was I mean, I'd have never finished second if I didn't fuel save. Otherwise, I probably would have been like Austin Wheeler and all them when they had the pit as well. Murphy, all them.
I just backed up the car, like.
Well, yeah, because you had 20 seconds on everybody. Of course, you could back it up.
Oh, not even that. I was like, I started running I backed down to like 38s, 39s, because I was running second gear. We're in the stadium.
Ooh, 38, 39s. I'm going full throttle trying to get in the 38s. Thanks for just telling me how trash I am.
Well,
and we got all three Musos here now, so how? I don't get it. Again, I somehow end up where all the Musos are. Every fucking time.
All of Short Fused qualified right next to each other, because I looked back at their stream and it was like 22nd, 23rd, 24th or whatever. It actually was probably higher than that, but it was just in a line, the three of them, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because they're obviously going to, bump draft each other through the course.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they had about the same amount of issues with each other as the 40XLI guys had with each other in the middle of the race.
You mean me and Matt?
I wasn't gonna name names, but
as I was fighting for my life. Well, because after the first spin, I went to the back and I started going back through, and then the 20 of Pinnell and somebody decided to kill themselves in turn one, so I went to avoid them. Pinnell backed up and hit me in the left rear, and then I was fighting 10 laps of my left rear wanting to leave the chat until the stage. And so, poor old Matt, I'm trying to get out of his way, and then I spin again, and he just kind of hits me. And then your teammate, Corey, decided, I'm going to spin in the stadium section and pull forward like Garrett's not there.
Hey, listen, like we said at the beginning of the year, we don't claim anything that Tony does. So
So I'm going to make a similar amendment here that on road courses, I don't claim a thing that Jeff Ramsdale does.
Man, Ramsdale had a rough night.
it was.
I felt bad for
golly.
him.
He even said he's like, I can't drive a road course to save my life, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's funny because I see Ramsdale and he's good at other places, and then I saw him last night. I'm like, he is not having a good time at all.
And it kind of makes you think too, like with Ramsdale, like because Keith, he didn't make it in because he ran like a 149. But
Yeah.
I was starting to think that Keith was probably just doing that just because he was like, I don't want to do this.
Nah, Keith actually was pissed off that he couldn't make the race there.
Oh,
Did he get an
Because
off track like on his second lap?
He's I believe one of them was an off track in the second lap. He spun, but it kept it going, so that's why it was a 49. But he couldn't. He was saying even in practice that he couldn't get a clean lap in to set a qualifying lap. So that's where
another
he
thing that
couldn't beat those
iRacing
last
needs to fix,
laps.
because the fast line there is not where the off tracks are. You have to go off track to have a fast lap. And
I agree,
yeah.
but there's also like, I think what they should do is, because it's right now it's too sensitive, where it's almost like a one tire system. I think that it needs to be a 4-tire system just so that it can accommodate.
Yeah, it needs to be like the F1
and Formula.
system. All 4 tires got to be past the white line, considered an off track or track limit,
I
whatever
agree.
the fuck. I don't know.
I agree, and if they want someone to to be a little bit stricter in certain areas, that's where you put the slowdown. Is kind of like with the exit of the chicane on that left-hander. If you cut it too much, you get about like a second slowdown.
I wonder how many people he got that slowdown in that chicane going
Oh
towards
my
the
goodness.
backstretch.
When I was going to pass people, I was noticing that a lot of them were getting it, the cross or the slowdown flag because they cut the course somewhere, and normally it would be through that section.
I
But
got
a lot of people were
warned
just
through
a
that
lot of
through
people
that
were just
chicane.
bleeding it off through the stadium section because the slowdown wasn't that impactful from that.
Right.
The only slowdown I ended up getting was the next to last corner where you go to cut that in just a little more past that curb, and it got me the slowdown for it. And I'm like, fuck.
I don't get why that's a slowdown going outside there on that runoff. Why that's a slowdown? You're not gaining time.
Right. No, but no, yeah, I get that one too. But no, mine was cutting it inside.
I think
Like I cut a lot
Oh,
more
you
than what I
you
should
actually
have.
cut over the curb?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Like, got you now. Took me a minute.
I think a lot of those slowdowns are not designed for the Cup cars or even just NASCAR on
No.
course specifically. I think it's for Formula One and for like GTPs where they can take those wider lines flat out and they'll gain time because of it. Not us who have to freaking get on the brakes for those corners.
Oh, sorry, we have to brake because we're driving something with the aerodynamics of a brick. Like, my bad.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
don't
no.
want to take into account, us having to do that. Sorry, we take this in
Yeah.
first gear, not 7th.
Mhm.
My bad.
I can understand though, like because iRacing has to accommodate for all the things that are going to drive there, so I get it. But normally that bleeds off too. A lot of the slowdowns bleed off with a Cup car and Xfinity car.
Have they scanned CODA in like 4 or 5 years? Because I feel like the scan
No,
we're running
it's
on is
old.
old.
I don't think
It
we
is.
did.
It is. We are on an old scan.
Because I know it's
I
been
believe-
paved since then.
There, with the NASCAR stuff, they're doing a couple of refreshes. I believe Iowa is coming in this next build,
Thank
The re-
God.
the repave version. But
Oh,
everything else, like Bristol and a couple others, are just going to be artwork updates like they did to New Hampshire.
Gonna get rid of that giant bump in turn 1 at Iowa, up on the high side.
Nah, they're gonna make it
Well,
worse.
no, because the high side, if you remember, the high side is still as same as it ever was. It's just the
They
bottom
left the
2
bump
lanes
when they
that-
paved it?
if you watch the race back, there was only 2 or 3 lanes that they actually paved at the track. They didn't pave the
Oh
entire
yeah, it
track.
is right because people gave them a lot of hell
Yeah,
about
it
that.
looks like
That's
like
right.
shit. They only paved the corners and it's the bottom like 2 or 3 lanes, and then it's like coming out of the corner. There's like the
Yeah.
middle line has little extra pavement going to the straightaways, and it looks.
Did
so
the state of
ridiculous.
South Carolina pave the track
Half maybe
because they only did half a job?
they really only did half a job.
What's the
Well, I
point?
mean, that's what-
Like, pave the whole thing. You
It was,
can't say.
I don't think they had enough time. I think that's what it was.
I do
Okay,
believe that is
if
what
you
the excuse
didn't have
they
enough
use,
time
but-
and it was Daytona, I would believe you. Iowa is a small track. You have time. Like,
Yeah, I don't understand it. Iowa should have gotten fixed.
I mean, who else is racing there besides NASCAR?
IndyCar.
Oh,
IndyCar went.
ooh, once a year
And
probably.
they even they do the double there.
Oh,
it's
they
a-
actually do a double there. Okay.
yeah.
so you
but
got-
it's a back-to-back days, so
You got tops three weekends tops that is really being used by any top series. You've got 49 other weeks to pave the whole fucking track. It's not. Oh my god.
Unless it snows.
Well, they gotta go pick
genuinely-
corn.
I believe that it should be paved over when we come here this year, like in real life. But I have the feeling we're gonna have the Frankenstein version in iRacing.
I'm so scared for that because if you go to the top, you are done. You might as well just park it up there.
I mean, like if you watched the Iowa race last year, that's exactly how it was. When you got up there, it was just tire shredder. You had no grip.
Look, Corey,
You only had
already.
those 2 lanes.
I'm doped up.
Did you already take NyQuil?
No, I took Mucinex, the cold and flu.
That's not even the good dope. You gotta,
Well,
you gotta hit that NyQuil, son.
Well, it was more expensive than NyQuil, so damn it, I got it today. $19 versus 22.
And then there's me over here freaking drinking soda.
That's what I was just doing. Probably shouldn't. Not this late. Oh my god, that is bright. My other screen.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, dude. Made you look a lot whiter than you are.
Oh, thank you. I blended in, didn't I, for a second? Yeah. I blended in real quick. Oh, man. I hadn't even looked at what Xfinity or I know Eric had posted something, but I hadn't even looked at what.
It's just qualifying times. Connor Zilich with the pole.
Was Cup still qualifying on Saturdays?
Yeah, they're qualifying tomorrow.
Oh.
They have practice and qualifying before the Xfinity race.
Okay.
Well, then, that was a good one, Corey.
It was a doped up one. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it half sounded like a snore. It was just like.
Well, speaking of the Xfinity qualifying, though, Vera, we'll change the subject for a second. I saw where Parker Rexloff was. He ended up going home. I guess where
Really?
just didn't miss, but he made some kind of big old post about where he's like, "I'm sorry to the team." That, and I'm like, "Damn!" I was like, I wouldn't even thought, but
Parker Retzloff is in the. Oh wait, no, Retzloff. Sorry, I got my.
yeah.
I was to say Kligerman is in the booth, and that's what I was thinking of, but I'm like,
Oh yeah. No.
Jacob says Alfredo for the dub.
that's gonna be a stretch.
A lot of the top guys would have to have trouble.
Like yeah,
But that's-
Chastain and Zilich.
Considering
and
Zilich is
Allgaier.
over half a second faster than second place in his qualifying time,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, check this out. Like I got to looking on BetMGM. They have Zilich like the second favorite to win the Cup race, and I'm like, what the fuck?
what? Why?
I
was like,
don't
he's-
doubt it.
Yeah, I don't. See,
Is
that's what I
Shane
don't get.
first?
Yeah, Shane Van
I
Gisbergen
figured
first.
Ginsbergen would be first.
Yeah, but they got Zilich second, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like,
But
is
I can see
Vegas
it.
on something?
I can see it though because
Let
the
me look
car
at that.
he drove the LMP2s last year along with part-time Xfinity.
Right.
So he had those LMP2s rock a similar steering system to what the Cup car runs now. And
Oh
so-
no! Hold on, they changed it. Hold on. You know who's the favorite now?
Who's
Who?
that? Is it Zilich?
Carter Zilich at plus 450.
Yeah.
Shane Van Gisbergen at plus 525.
Do they
like,
just
I can
forget that there actually are decent road course runners and regular Cup guys? Like,
So here's
what?
so I'll give you the order right here. What it has on the Cup side. So you got Carter Zilich, Gisbergen, Tyler Reddick at 750, Byron is at 900, Christopher Bell at 900, and then Larson is 1,000.
God, that Larson bet would be that'd be
Chase
good
isn't
money.
even up
No.
there.
Well, Chase
He's behind Larson plus 1,200.
Chase has done shit on the road courses in this car.
No, here, guys, hold on. I got the bet for you that you can really make some money off of. Alex Bowman plus 1,800.
I don't
God,
know.
Not gonna hit.
No.
That is
What do you
not
mean,
gonna hit.
no?
No.
That ain't gonna hit.
No,
Well,
Corey.
I mean, hey, the favorites say sometimes always happens to them, like what happened with the Shane Van Gisbergen at Chicago last year.
Yeah, but that was a big kerfuffle with the rain and all the other shit.
And you
The
don't
rain
think
was-
Coda's going to be a big kerfuffle too with this new layout?
I think you'll have a lot of cautions, but I don't think it'll get that messed up.
I put my money on Alex Bowman.
Also, Bowman got the right call by keeping wets on the car instead of.
Eddie said Kyle
going
Busch
dry.
plus 2,500. That's where you bet.
I wouldn't take that.
Uh,
I'll
Now-
bet $1 on Kyle Busch.
now, hold on a minute. Now, if you look like top fives and stuff, that might be a little different story.
Like,
He's showing
actually-
a plus 3,000 for me, Eddie. Unless you're betting on another one.
Yeah, there might be different ones there. Let me look here and see if it shows
All right,
up
I'm
on
gonna do this for
BetMGM.
Eric. Ryan Blaney plus 5,000. I'm betting $5
Oh my
on him.
God.
Jesus
Let's
Christ.
Damn,
So-
Dude, they even
They
got
were-
Arjun Cindric at 3,500.
Oh, okay. Eddie's on DraftKings.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm on BetMGM with mine, and let me see where they got Kyle at. Kyle. Did they forget Kyle?
I
Okay,
still
so they got Kyle Busch at plus 3,000.
I still think Larson is probably the best money making bet because that one has a pretty good chance to hit.
And not Byron?
I think Larson's just a better. Like Byron, he got Coda last year, but I think that this layout's gonna be too different to have it matter.
Well, don't put your money on Reddick because he mentioned that where all of his fast points that made him quick is gone.
Yeah.
So
well, they got
I don't-
FanDuel's got Chastain better over the Danger,
interesting.
which is interesting.
Let's see here.
I hate to say it, but I think AJ is getting to that point in his career where he's regressing even on the road courses.
How old is AJ now?
40s, isn't
Is he in his 40s?
AJ. Yeah, he is 43 years old.
Dang,
So
I'm getting old.
like like you
The Danger's in his 40s. I thought he was
I'm
only like a
sure.
couple years older than me. God.
like
So they actually have so as far as like top fives and stuff, they got Zillage and Van Gisbergen at minus 185, minus 140 to finish in the top five.
hey, so
I just-
Corey,
I just don't see the whole thing with Connor Zillage in the top five.
I
don't
see
know.
it because the LMP2 car I think was enough or similar enough with the Cup cars right now that he could get it done.
Well, yeah, they blow over easy. We found that out.
Well, yeah,
Well, they
when you have literally a giant wall on the bottom of the car,
The Indy car freaking bottom.
and I get why it's there to protect the undercarriage, but I mean, they're
Well,
like, why did that car go up? Like, I don't know. You just
Hey,
has
there's a reason that every other series that NASCAR has is able to stay on the ground. Maybe it's because they're open bottom cars. And that's what NASCAR has run for the last, 75 years before the next gen?
Something like that.
I mean, you take first of all, I take off that diffuser, unless
Yeah.
at like certain places.
And
I mean-
I think that underbody, you just take it completely off.
I mean,
You
I
leave
get
you can keep the splitter, but
at some of the road courses, I get why to have it, right? Because I mean, these guys are granted. There's
But-
what 1,000-pound walls now up at Coda to stop them from cutting the course, but
I think it was like 400 according to what Tony was saying earlier.
so
Like 400 pounds.
somebody's gonna hit them.
Oh, for
yeah.
sure.
I'm trying to think who would be the first one to try to cut it and hit it. If it would be a back
Carson
marker or someone up front.
Bunch of people like Ty Dillon or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the Dylans or Hocevar. One of the Dylans or Hocevar. That's what I'm calling.
Hocevar misses the person in front of him. He's trying to hit, and he hits a wall instead. Jacob says Ross.
Nah.
I could see that.
All right,
I don't feel like Ross has been as aggressive as he was in the past.
dude. They cut his balls off. Like when he had that entire mix up with Hendrick Motorsports.
No, Hendrick cut his balls off.
Yeah, they fucking went. Yeah, they went to Trackhouse with a fucking pair of garden scissors and said, "Yeah, time to get trimmed up here, buddy."
Hey, those melons you got, they're ours now. These belong to us. They're in Rick Hendrick's office. They're sitting up on his desk.
Because outside of the one win that he got last year, what was it, like second Kansas? That he really didn't have a chance to win. I don't remember a lot last year.
Yeah, Jacob said he got neutered. Hardcore style. Like, Reggie, where are my resticles?
I'll take that back. He did have a chance to win at Nashville until, it became overtime after overtime after overtime after overtime. And then, Joey Logano saved at the pump to win the championship.
Yeah.
I don't.
He had that Michael Whitley extra gallon.
Extra gallon. He had like an extra 10 gallons in that tank.
I'm sorry. The 14th place best car should not be running for a championship.
I thought it was 17th. I thought he was that bad.
No, because it's an account I follow. I think Corey follows this account on Twitter too, that does all of NASCAR by the old system.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he would have
yeah.
finished 14th.
Yeah.
By the old system.
I thought it was like average finish you were talking
See,
about.
Here's the thing with that too. You mentioned that too. Is like I'll post it on there just to
I like
get
to look
Whitley
at it.
riled up. Yeah, I like to look at it, but I also like to get Whitley riled up. Mainly
yeah.
for the simple fact that Whitley can go, it's not the same. It's not, the points racing's a little different now than it is back then, and all
No
that
shit.
stuff. So yeah,
It's not wrong, but I also think that, it's interesting to look at that stuff.
I like to get him riled
Yeah.
up because, like me and Corey did a couple weeks ago, where he's like, "Man, why don't they just race back to the caution flag or something? They try to get points, What about like 5 points for leading a lap or leading most laps? Hey, there's a thought." And Whitley was just like so fucking mad. He's like, "You guys are just like those guys on Facebook that say NASCAR died when Dale died," and I immediately went, "It did."
Well, it's just like me every year so far, where I've posted the league stats if we were going by the old one, and then people are like, "Who cares? We didn't run with it." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's cool to watch."
Yeah, it's like
and then me and Corey were like 2 points away or whatever at the end at Phoenix.
Yeah, it's cool. I like looking at it because it's a cool, thing to look at. But I mean, the whole reason they all went away from it, they claim it's for better sport, but it's because Matt Kenseth won a championship with basically one win, and that's it.
Damn Johnson drivers.
yeah.
I mean, you could still, even with the new system, finish, not even get wins unless you get 16 separate winners, which you won't. But you could still get in just running top 10, top 5 every race.
Well, hell, like Mike Crafton won the truck championship by not getting a single win. It was 2019.
So actually, it needs 15 different winners, and if the points leader did not win, because the points leader gets an automatic spot. I know.
Well,
I'm just
sorry.
trying to be factually correct. I didn't know about that until was it last year? No, when was it? Like 2022, I think, when we had like 15 different winners or whatever.
Yeah, 22.
Until Kurt
Did
Busch
we?
pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 15 different winners going into Daytona until Kurt Busch pulled out because of his brain injury.
Or his concussion.
Yeah.
We got robbed of Kurt Busch at the end there. I think we did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was when Blaney and Truex were battling at Daytona for the last 2 spots.
Yeah, and I remember Blaney getting wrecked on that, and he was just had a damaged car trying to finish that race. And
that's also the same race, I believe, where it was raining in turn 1, and they came and plowed in and took out 30 cars.
Oh, that's the one that Austin Dillon won.
Yeah, because
Oh,
that's
God.
what made Martin Truex
No.
miss the playoffs that season.
You just ruined my good mood. Thank you. Had to be reminded of that bullshit.
Because who was it that Dylan punted out of the way to get that win? Because even
Eric
he couldn't
Almirola.
was it Eric Almirola?
Yeah.
Because there was
He
only
was
like
driving the 10.
There was only like 10 competitive cars that were left in that race at the end of it.
Yeah, it was Eric Almirola.
Oh,
Because he was driving the 10 Smithfield car for Stuart Haas.
and now he's in a Toyota in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah. How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah.
Could it though?
Yeah, it could be worse. I mean, trying to think how it could be worse. Who's in a worse ride now? Who is in the worst? Was in a good ride, and who's in the worst ride now? Probably. Besides Carlos Sainz from going from Ferrari to Williams.
Well, I mean, I saw when they did testing in Formula One, and he was kind of up there with the Mercedes and the Ferrari.
Jacob says Eric Jones.
Dude, Eric Jones has been in that 43 car for long enough that he deserves it.
Yeah, it's. I'd wish that Legacy Motor Club would just run better, and they may. It's just no matter if they're in a Chevrolet or in a Toyota, they seem like they've just been a bat marker.
Who do they get their stuff from right now?
Joe Gibbs, I believe, or
I'd probably assume Gibbs, but
because they're the only Toyota like super Toyota team. Everybody else is just
or Tier 1.
Yeah, because 2311, it heavily ran off of Joe Gibbs stuff.
Well,
I guess maybe they're now their
they
own
probably got
thing,
it on a
but
discount.
Yeah, and then Legacy probably was like, "Well, we're the other Toyota, so if you want to give us a little hand."
And I thought that was kind of the deal too when they went to Toyota, was that they'd have that, they had that status versus with Chevrolet, they're not like down like a ladder or something like that.
But they still haven't performed with Nemechek or Jones, I mean, I think their best finish since the next gen car was the third. Oh wait, no, sorry. I think Eric Jones won a Darlington race, but otherwise it would have been Jimmy Johnson's third this year at the 500.
I'm sorry, but Chevy keep talking about winning the fucking owners championship or whatever. The manufacturer. That is the dumbest bullshit. Like, there's like 30 Chevys as opposed to who's left. And if you don't win, pack it up and go home. You already get rid of the Camaro for us. I hope they go to the Cadillac. I hope they do.
I'd hope so too. That'd be the only acceptable replacement is the Cadillac.
I mean, what are they gonna go to if they stick with a Chevy? Like
a Blazer?
Please, oh God, fuck no! Please no! God, the new Blazers look so bad.
A crappy looking vet.
Well, I don't think they could do the vet because the way the vet looks now, the back, the tail would look fine, but the front end's so narrow that it wouldn't fit.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work out.
So I was wrong. The best since they've switched to Toyota, Legacy's best finish is Jimmy Johnson this year at the 500 in third place.
I was about to say too, because Eric Jones, when he won, they was in Chevrolet.
Yep.
Wasn't they? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I forgot that Jimmy finished third.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's actually even in the era of the next gen, which I believe was the 2022 is when that began. Outside of Eric Jones' Darlington win, it's the best finish.
That's something else. Like, they need to decide: are we gonna throw the caution, or are we just gonna let them race? Like, I'm like, either pick one, because Daytona they just said after the truck and Xfinity race, and they threw the caution as late as they did in both of those. Then Daytona they're just like, screw it, we'll let them run it to the finish. And then Atlanta, okay, the wreck was in turn 3, way behind everybody, and you robbed us of a 3-wide finish.
Well, There's also the fact that the Cup drivers went to NASCAR after that, according to Denny Hamlin, and they wanted to protest the fact that they didn't throw yellow because there were cars wrecking and it wasn't a safe environment to keep racing. And that's why that's NASCAR's reasoning for why they threw the caution at Atlanta.
Yeah, but then Denny's also advocated them to not throw the caution, so he needs to pick a side and not just try to get more viewers on his podcast.
That's probably what it is.
I mean,
But he did say that they made the right call on it. But now I could understand, like, if the wreck was in turns 1 and 2,
oh yeah,
and they're racing back over it, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
if it's like 3 and 4, I mean, surely to God they got time to where they could be like,
slow down.
Slow down if it's like a turn 3. But
And I mean, the Daytona wreck, I could see why. Because I mean, God, everybody was involved. I mean, it was
Yeah.
like 20 cars in that mess.
Again,
But
there's a reason Allgaier and Jimmy Johnson got their finishing positions.
exactly. And Atlanta, there was what, 3, 4?
I want to say
3, I think.
I want to
3 or
say it
4?
was more that got collected in the ending of it, but I want to say initially it was only 4 or 5 cars.
So that's where I'm like, you need to pick, like, or you could go to like sectional yellows, like F1 has, but I don't know how that would work on a 1.5 mile track like that, because you'd have to divide into maybe 4 sections. Like each turn is its own section with like a piece of the backstretch and a piece of the front stretch.
Yeah.
So like if it's yellow in say section 3, which is say half the backstretch into turn 3, you're frozen. In that section you're frozen. But if you're past that, like the leaders were, you can keep racing. I don't know.
But at the same time, they do make it so that you have to make it to the checkered flag under your own power to get a finishing position where you are. Otherwise, if you're involved in that wreck, you still go back.
I'm just spitballing here. I'm just trying to think of some way where you can have your safety, but then we still get. I mean, I know we're not going to ever go back to the way it was. And people need to realize that.
I don't know if they keep like scoring, giving people points for leading a lap and all that stuff. If they're talking about that, then that's definitely going backwards. All right.
I think that we need to, as far as the car, it needs to get more or better for the super speedways, because Atlanta it looked like you could do more in real life, while at Daytona and Talladega it's been just you can stay wide open and you're gonna still stay in that 2 wide pack. You can't, if you go 3 wide, you're going to the back.
I mean,
they're actually pushing.
The draft package that we ran at Daytona was
iRacing.
I felt like I could do nothing. Especially if you're in the middle of the pack, like it's like literally 5 lanes of traffic going in downtown large city somewhere. Like I'm just sitting there just I can throttle up. Oh, nope. Throttle up. Nope. I can nope. Gotta back up. Like
wait with your neighbor.
He was slamming me through the traffic at Daytona for us, because he could, like, even when we went 3 wide, he'd just be buried in my rear bumper and we'd actually make some progress. It was awesome.
I mean, that's what I did to him in Atlanta.
Yeah.
As Michael was like, "Oh, Garrett somehow bullied his way to the front." I didn't necessarily bully my way to the front. I may have helped a few people, but I got up there, and then me and Eric just, fuck the pit call.
I didn't have a chance to get that far.
You died.
I died before the stage. I was
like dead. Oh, he dead.
Yeah. When I heard the freaking tire was scraping, I'm like, yep, that's gonna be telling me it's too much damage, and it was.
And they got Corey over here who died, and then somehow clawed his way back.
On that last lap, I went from 22nd to 12th.
Because everybody died.
Else died in front of me. Yeah, in front of me. Meanwhile, I'm just ranting. I'm like, it's always the last lap you all decide the wreck.
I'm glad that, like, when we get in a wreck, it doesn't count if we ride the wall. Because I kind of did. Because I got slammed into it, and I just kept my foot down. He kept going.
But I don't think it's that much of an advantage at the super speedways. It's,
No.
it's definitely a thing at the short tracks, and that's why it's against.
I
the
don't
rules,
think it's
but-
advantage anywhere but the short tracks.
Yeah.
At least to me. But
I mean, the amount of like LA and Martinsville, those really tight cornered short tracks, you can get so much extra, like almost a second, just by wall riding. It is.
well,
it's
at
absurd.
Bristol, you don't need a wall ride. You just dive it in to let it ride up, hit the wall, and then bounce back down and have a straight drive exit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you ride the wall at Bristol, you're pretty much you just. But
Yeah, that's always been the key there. Is like at least in the Gen 6 was you just go up there, hit it just enough to where it turns you back down, and then you basically got that straighter shot. I knew a lot of pro guys that did that when I raced in the league with them in the Gen 6.
yeah, that's why I was like when we were running fast laps at practice with Bristol last year, and should I say his name? Because he got kicked out of the league, but it's not our friend. It's
Oh, different one.
no. Well, it's Todd. I'll say his
Oh.
name. I don't care. This is our.
Oh,
I
that
do what
guy.
I want here.
I'd say that's not he who shall not be named.
No. Oh, you mean Travis? I don't care. Like I'll name him. Like
his nickname
no
is
admins
he
here.
who shall not be named.
I'm the
What do you
admin.
mean? I'll say right below you. There's the admin.
They're like this is mine here. Me. No, it's like we're doing fast laps in practice at Bristol. I'm like, how is Todd like 3/10 faster than me? I look, he hit the wall both times. He held the throttle down, hit the wall, came back down, held throttle. He's like, oh man, I'm quick. Like, yeah, do that in qualifying. Where do you qualify? 6th. Trash.
Yeah.
Man, what we got? Phoenix next. Is that what we got?
Yep.
Next? Oh my god, fuck.
Yay. Hey, I finished second in Phoenix last time.
Hey, I died.
I finished. Third. I finished third after knocking the wall down in front of you.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You did.
I died in the first Phoenix whenever, our late friend who won the championship twice decided to come in and kill everybody. When don't
No,
I die, Jacob? Every week. I die every week. Because somehow I get caught between you and your brother.
And a Musso sandwich. Yeah.
I am like the designated meat. I mean, I'm big enough. I'm the designated meat in the Musso sandwich. And then you know how like you go to a nice restaurant, you get like sandwiches got the olives on top. Like
Yeah.
those olives are Corianis. And then there I am. I always fucking find them. I don't like. I need to like y'all send me numbers to play the lottery because I always find you guys. Maybe you can help me win the lottery or something. I'll give you the winnings.
It's a split of third each way.
So if we're talking about we're
Now-
talking about Spring Phoenix last year, I got killed. Well, I mean everyone died just about. But
Yeah.
in the
That was
last
fine.
race, I did okay.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
I thought
spring Phoenix is when Eric died like twice. Well, I tried to cut the dog leg. One, he killed himself, and the other time he killed Whitley. Took him with him.
Didn't he
I was
almost
so
die
mad at-
cutting the dog leg like 4 times?
Yeah.
Because I thought
He
I
just-
remember
he just
watching
never-
your stream or somebody's stream back, and Whitley went, "Stop going down there." And Eric's like, "I won't go down here again."
Dude, I was so pissed off that we kept having yellows because I definitely was in the position to win that race as long as we could have been green for an entire lap to pass the guy who was leading, but we just couldn't get one
Jordan?
clean lap.
Why don't you say
Dude,
his
I-
name? He's a part-time driver. Say his name.
I
don't-
remember.
No, that was Martinsville. That's not Phoenix. That's a different. was a
Oh,
different
okay.
race. I was talking
Nah.
about Phoenix. That was because I was somebody. I don't remember who actually won that race, but I remember that I was faster, and I had the run coming to. I want to say it was just about to be the white flag, and the caution came out, and I'm like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me!"
It's Martinsville, dude. Like, it's caution every
No,
2
Phoenix.
laps.
Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix.
But yes, it was.
Pick one. You said Martinsville, and now it's Phoenix. Which
No.
is it, Jordan?
You were saying Booth kept bringing out the cautions. That was in
No,
Martinsville.
I was saying that Booth was leading at Phoenix.
Oh yeah, fall Phoenix, not spring Phoenix. I was
Keep
leading
up.
at spring.
killing me
I
here,
remember,
Smalls.
I remember, I remember being up there in the top 5 with Booth and Travis and all them, and that was when they both got in a wreck and just collected everybody else. And then I remember getting so mad. I was like, just when I have a good run, I get wrecked in the fucking front. God damn it!
Didn't you end up finishing like right behind me in that?
I
race?
still finished in the top 5. Actually, I think I finished third.
Every fucking
Yeah,
time.
but-
Can never
yeah.
get it right.
I was so mad because that was when last year I had that shitty start because like
It was like 4 races of wrecks in a row.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because I finished like in the 30s up in except for like Atlanta when I finished like 16th. And then Phoenix was like, all right, this is going to be maybe my one good shot. And then I got caught up in the wreck running up front and I just got so mad. It's like, no matter where I'm fucking at, I'm going to get fucking
Last
wrecked.
year and this year, our first couple weeks, the tracks are miserable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
I
what?
think
Last year it was Daytona, Atlanta was second, right? It was the second race. And then, was Phoenix third, or did we have Coda third last year as
Phoenix.
No, no, Phoenix wasn't third. No, it was Vegas.
No, because I
No.
thought
Vegas
there
was
a short
third.
track. I want to say it was a short track, and then we.
No,
All right,
because
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up there because I remember last year it was Daytona, Atlanta, Vegas, and then it was Phoenix.
I don't care about the champion from last
Oh,
year. I want to know.
You
the
are
schedule.
right. You are right. And you know what? That means that I won in the 3rd race in both seasons.
Yeah, there you go. Or there's your stat of the day right there.
No. Ooh.
Hey,
Oh, God.
that
Oh,
it's
no.
really nice to have the or not have to worry about that till fall time.
Why? Yeah, go bowl another strike, Eric. You're here in spirit. Big loser.
You think he can let me go? Oh, no.
Hey, please tell me he said that at least once yesterday.
I think he did say something like, "You think you can let me go?"
I was asking Corey because surely he said
I don't know about last night, but he was more pissed off at his qualifying run where
I'm pretty sure Corey was like locked into like a pressure chamber of saving fuel because he wasn't
because
reacting
like
to anybody.
I mean,
dude, Willie gave me shit about like trying to be like we got serious, and I'm like, well, yeah, because I was fucking saving fuel. What the hell you expect?
we got serious Corey Bunch. Look out. We don't get that often. I mean, we don't, but at least I've only experienced serious Corey Bunch once, I think. Maybe once. When I you held me off at Charlotte in the trucks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I believe I got angry Corey Bunch in 2023 Las Vegas race, where in the fall.
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm
Oh, that's not
I'm
hard
like,
to get
"You
angry
still have
Corey
a
Bunch.
chance." It's every goddamn time. I never get it
Wait,
goddamn
wait,
right.
I got it right here. Hold on. I got it right here. Fucking bullshit, dude. Every fucking time. Can never get it goddamn
For those that don't know, we
No.
have soundboards of ourselves.
Yeah.
By the way, that is the volume corrected version. That is not the one that he actually blew out everyone's headphones with.
Oh yeah.
Because he was screaming that loud that he was peaking his mic.
My
Like-
stupid camera. There you go.
Yeah, that was that one where
And he won the
I
race,
just-
by the way.
well, yeah, because I was thinking, well, when we're Brogdon, when he took those 2 tires and I took 4, I was like, here we go again. So I'm gonna get fucked by 2 tires, and I just remember being so mad because like when you gave me shit, Winslow, like I was trying to make it to the championship, and I didn't believe in myself I would, and then when I won that race, you mocked me. And, yeah.
Because you deserved it.
I
You deserved every fucking bit of it.
have heard Corey complain more, and he's in the top 5 than if he gets wrecked and he's just or not wrecked even if he's just
Right.
chilling like barely top 10, and he's just like, oh, I'm just back here having fun, and then he's in top 5 and he's just like you're ready to throw in the towel.
You know, I can kind of sympathize with that though, because it's like you feel like you could have won and you're just like not happy about sitting in fourth or third.
Then you got Eric over there. Looks like already got the toaster prepped, like before he even gets in the car.
He's got like a jacuzzi.
It slapped on a big old 12 on the side of it.
Yeah, he's got like, oh, I've got 6 extras if this doesn't work.
What was it that day that Whitley told him? He goes, I hope your toaster malfunctions and you don't get that pleasure.
He's like, I hope your power goes out right as you throw it in the tub and you don't get
that
the
he's just-
pleasure.
Eric's just like, why would you say that up to me?
It's like, this is why I never win in these things. Like, hey, I tried to help him win. I tried.
Yeah, you try pushing the 12.
Hey, can't say I didn't try. I tried helping the 12.
So there you go. Hashtag push the 12.
Well, then you got Whitley, who's like, I think like half the time I either think he's just, all right, I've given up, or he's like having an existential crisis. It's like it's either one or the other with him. There's never anything in between.
Yeah.
You know, with me, I'm dead or I'm running up front.
Yeah.
I'm like either I'm in top 10, top 5, or I am in a dumpster dead.
Yeah.
There's no in between. Jordan, I don't know about you, Jordan.
I feel like I just normally, like, if it's a short track, I'm up front. And the mile and a halfs and bigger, I'm a mid-pack hack.
Yeah, I can kind of see a little bit of that. Maybe.
I say Martinsville's probably my best short track. Just I'm always up front for that one. But...
Well, I know one thing, though. Wherever Winsel's at, I'm not that far behind or ahead.
No, me and Corey normally are either bumper to bumper or within a car length of each other.
And you got Toe Mater, wherever he's at, somewhere back there.
Look here.
My man's in a garage right now with his tied to a chair. Why'd you try to take my car?
For those who don't know, Michael and Tony were supposed to join us. Tony decides he doesn't know how to answer his phone. And poor old Michael's still stuck at work. He may have escaped by now, but...
God damn it.
God damn it, Tony.
Yeah, well,
anytime he starts the, oh yeah, well, I knew it's going to be some bullshit. I knew. I'm like, well, here comes a BS excuse of why I ran into that guy 3 times. I don't know why he wrecked.
Yeah.
Okay, case in point. Last Talladega, I'm running up, we're all on the line up front, right? There's 8-car breakaway. And Ennis is behind me. He's a lap down trying to get his lap back. And he keeps hitting me. And we're like 4th or 5th car in line. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I get hit really hard, push me on the apron. I get mad, turn right back into him, and he hits the wall thinking it's him that did it. And then later, Tony's like, oh, yeah, that was actually me. I'm like, Tony, I got mad at him for no reason. He's like, oh, I didn't want to, say anything as we're in the pack.
I was trying to
like
move
that.
him out of the way.
I'm like,
It's like the Daytona race where I got shot down the track. I save it, and then Tony just is coming up the track. I was turning left.
what a day it must. You wake up every day and your name's Tony Japs. Like, but it's like a new day every day. Like, let me go steal other people's cars. I sold them.
Like I said, he's in a garage right now, tied up because he's went to the wrong garage.
Jacob said, "Poor Tony." Like, don't feel sorry for him. Don't you dare feel sorry for him. He don't deserve that.
I know 3 guys who Tony's not going to try to push next time he sees them at a super
That
speedway.
is fine. That is fine. I'm fine with that. I don't need that help. I'll go find the 12 and push him. I don't need the extra Tony help. Oh,
dude, I wanted to work with Eric at Daytona. That was like when we did that little practice thing with Matt. Like we were just hauling the mail.
Oh, with the 3-car thing?
Yeah.
That's weird that the 3-car
amazing.
works better than even if you add a 4th to it. that the three
like
cars could still pull away.
it's almost like a tandem.
I'll bring back tandem drafting. Oh my.
So when I was doing a fixed race at Atlanta, there was 4 cars that got really lined up and pushed each other. They pushed them, or the 4 of them, away from the pack. It was crazy. Like they actually broke away from the pack and were able to stay away from the pack.
So you have 4 guys that knew what they were doing.
Yeah, well, this was the top split for that session. It was one of the actual eNASCAR pros that was leading that pack.
Who was it?
Zach something.
Is it Novak?
I don't.
No, that's not right.
No, I was completely wrong. Blaze Crawford. So I just found the results from
What
that
kind of
race.
name is Blaze?
I don't know, but he's got a pro world class license and 7,469 I rating from that race. And I ended up pushing him so damn hard that I broke his rear bumper off the car.
Now, why did you do that, Jordan?
Because he blocked me when I was trying to pass him for the win.
So you're just gonna wreck him?
He didn't wreck him. He won the race.
No. So you're gonna wreck him for the win. All right, well.
He went for the block and I didn't lift.
Oh, God.
It's probably the most or the highest strength of field race that I had a chance of winning.
You know, I never thought that I would say it, but I do kind of miss the 2-car tandems. Like, it looked weird at the time. Like, we're so used to the pack thing. But I honestly think it was cooler.
It just took a lot more. It just took a lot more skill to try to match it up perfectly, as far as like swapping and all that.
Well, that, and if you go back and listen to the Radioactive from then, when the drivers could talk to each other.
Oh yeah,
that's some good TV.
I think one of the things with the drafting though, if we ran those cars now, I don't think that they would have been able. They'll be able to do that because I think what we've learned since then has made it a lot of what we have now as far as the pack racing. I think they would eventually, or they would all get lined up like they are now, but just have a little bit more power.
I mean, I'm still all about bring back 900 horses.
I agree.
I mean, these cars can take it. Okay, well, like, are they still running? Was it 570? Is that what they're running?
Is it that? I thought it was lower. I thought it was 510 for some reason.
I thought it was lower.
And I thought they upped it at other certain tracks, but I don't remember which ones.
There might have been certain tracks they upped it, but I don't think Super Speedways was one of them.
I'm looking it up right now.
500
and the next gens do 510 on the super speedways, including Atlanta, and 670 on every other track.
Sure don't feel like 670.
That's because all the downforce and stuff from that diffuser that
They have removed that thing.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like crap to begin with. Like,
Well,
just throw it
and the
in
road
trash.
course and short tracks, they've pretty much gutted the damn thing. It's this little 2-pronged thing, and they added a little bit spoiler, I think, to compensate for it. But
I mean, I just think they should throw it in the trash.
I think the diffuser needs to go. Maybe at the mile and a half, if you just put like the rakes on the back, maybe it's enough to help cars get closer to each other. But I don't know.
Oh, there's a hang on a second, and you'll get why I'm about to do this. Hey, LSU sucks. Anyways, back to the topic. No, I went back and someone had make a whole compilation of English, the drivers talking to each other during the tandem drafting, and the best one was poor Carl Edwards called like 10 drivers trying to get a partner. And the last one he was talking to, I think, was his teammate. I think David Reagan was still his teammate at the time. And David's like, oh, I actually made an agreement with somebody that wasn't a Ford. And Carl's like, well, I guess I'll just ride around by myself then. Felt so bad for him. He had called so many people. It was like, I just need a hand. They're like, no, I got, I agreed with someone else. And Carl being nice, and then finally at the end with his own teammate, he's like, you know what? I'll just ride around the back. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But
If you were anybody that was racing in that tandem style, you wanted to find Dale Jr. Like that, he was, for some reason, he was just so much better at pushing.
Mark
with
Martin was actually really good at pushing.
Him too.
I mean,
those two in that style was just, HMS was just really good with that team. I mean, it's a dream team, to be honest. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Mark Martin.
yeah, on a
What a
super speedway.
Anywhere. What a fucking monster team that is.
I felt, because I wish Mark had won the championship in 09. Because he was
Yeah.
so close to beating Jimmy. And, I mean, for a dude that's finished second in the championship, what, like 8 times? 9 times? It's like a ridiculous number.
Yeah.
You know what's really sad right now? If Denny Hamlin never wins a championship, Mark Martin will be second best to never win a championship. So he will be the bridesmaid even in being second best. I know that's so sad,
Mark.
but that's the only reason I want Denny Hamlin to win a championship.
No, I'm good. It would be funny, though, if he did win one after he lost FedEx. Because FedEx can deliver everything but a championship.
And
It's either that or just in
He
general.
also-
Denny Hamlin wins a championship and he fails post race.
That's why you hit the wall.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? You hit the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Like,
he's gonna win the championship after throttling up and putting Kyle Larson into the fence.
and see, that's another thing when you fail post race inspection. Was it Kligerman was the one that failed for the trucks at Daytona?
Yeah.
And it was like 1/8 of an inch. And I know I've had people tell me like that does make a difference, but it's like it's 1/8 of an inch. If he was like, 5 or 6, and see Jacob already agrees with me. He said bullshit to qualification. If it was like, okay, if we had like the Michael Waltrip deal at Daytona when he was in the 55 and he had put, basically rocket fuel in the car, that deserves, you're out, sorry.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah,
wasn't like
but
an egregious thing.
The tech limits right now are just so tight, though, that they're I believe the Cup car, no matter what, like you're only allowed like an inch of play, for any of your
If
springs.
that.
So like, it's like I understand why they have to go to 1/4 inches, 1/8 of an inch, just to make sure people aren't going, because they only have that much to disqualify or to
Right.
even act like something.
Right. I mean, I miss the days, and this is, I'm having boomer talk again. I mean,
Boomer.
shut up. Travis and Eric aren't here. You can't, like, you
Okay,
remember back when it was like, you literally would try to bend the rules as hard as you could. Even all the way back in, like, 07, when they were still doing the Twisted Sisters. And who was it, Sam Hornish that did it at the All-Star race, I think.
Yeah, where that thought was so skewed.
Or so old DW's like, man, look at that thing, it's yawed out. Like, what does that even
Yeah.
mean? Like, DW
Well, look
was-
at how the car, when the next gens first came on the scene, they didn't set rules for that. So all these guys came to the first practice at Daytona with cars that were driving on the straightaways. They were driving 90 degrees
Oh,
to
yeah.
the left. And the NASCAR's like, this is stupid. Fuck this. Nope. You're straightening these cars out.
And then they said that, oh, the fans don't want that. Horse shit. I want it. I want whoever, the best engineer you got, I want him to take that thing in there and see what he can do with it.
I don't know. I don't understand how that actually would have helped at a super speedway like that, because you're barely, like, I feel like the straightaway losses would not make up for the corner gains that you
No.
get.
Not in that. I mean, maybe 1.5 miles it would make up for it.
Yeah, but you lose. I think you'd lose that because of the weirdness of the air when you're going on the straightaways. Because the diffusers are going to be pointed out at an angle instead of the straight that they're at. So that's gonna dirty the air something miserable.
I forget the diffusers, the stupid ass diffuser thing. Again, remove them. Take them off the car. I hate those things. Burn them. Didn't someone get a DQ for a diffuser issue last year? Or was it the year before?
Might have been the year before.
I don't remember if there's a diffuser one. I know there's been a lot for like deck lids and fascias.
Because wasn't it like I'm trying to think of what the team was, and I want to say it was like Gibbs, shocker.
Ooh, shocker.
Because I think they was trying to like, I guess trim it or something like that.
That the Gibbs penalty was the front fascia at Pocono. With,
No, I know, but I was thinking they did something with the diffuser too.
I don't believe so, because the only other thing they've had penalty wise was the one at Daytona this year.
All right, someone look it up. I just remember. I think somebody did try to mess with it at 2022, but I can't remember. And part of me wants to say it was a Gibbs car, because they're known for messing with shit like that.
Let me see.
Case in point with the 19 this year.
Diffuser, NASCAR. Let me just do penalties, maybe. I can't spell.
I know. Was it Oleg got penalized for the louvers?
For the louvers? Yeah, them and Hendrick too. But
yeah, Hendrick had all of theirs confiscated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the weird thing about it: like Og's penalty
15%.
stayed, and then Hendricks was like, "That's just a monetary fine." And I'm like, "Are you fucking me? Like, how's that fair? It's the same thing." But yeah, you're gonna punish one more than the other.
Big Daddy
Rick
H.
Hendrick has
I guess.
Account.
I mean, I was hoping honestly, whenever the 20XLI thing with front row and they took him to court, I was like, even like if you imagine if Hendrick jumped on with that, NASCAR would probably been in trouble.
Well, they couldn't, because they signed the charter agreement, which there was one of the things in the agreement that you can't sue NASCAR.
Typical
family
bullshit.
I would probably would have liked Richard Childress more if he didn't sign that, but for the fact that he come out there and being like, "Well, we just got tired and that's why I signed it," and I'm like, "You kidding me?"
And then even when he goes on Dale's podcast and is just like, "I believe they're doing what's right for the sport right now," and it's pretty much not saying that he agrees with what they're doing, but saying that he wants them to succeed.
I'm sorry, but Richard Childress nowadays looks like he died yesterday.
They got a robot in his body making sure he looks like.
Old man RC ain't looking too good. I watched him on Dale Jr.'s podcast. I was like, ooh.
Say it.
Yeah.
Aging hits you like a brick. Ooh.
Get ready for Austin to take over the team.
Don't say that.
I mean,
please don't say that.
I'm pretty sure in that same podcast he said that he's the one that's going to take over.
Why?
Well, who would take over?
Austin Dillon.
Oh, well, I mean, now, hear me out, Garrett. Hear me out on this. If he takes over, what if he gets out of the 3 car and somebody else actually worth the damn gets in?
Who?
Anyone better than Austin Dillon?
Well, most of those people are taken.
Signed for the 3 car.
I mean, hell, put Austin Hill.
The 3 car.
Well, put Austin Hill in there. Shit, I don't know. Fuck.
I think Austin Hill is gonna be like Allgaier, where he's just gonna be a Saturday driver, like for his career.
You imagine if Allgaier goes to the 3? A certain someone will.
He'd fucking.
Oh, he wouldn't know what to do.
I would love Eric's reaction if. I might ask him that. Just hey, what do you think about Allgaier driving the 3 car?
I see that RCR was supposed to field Will Brown for the COTA race, but he's not on the entry list.
Really?
Maybe didn't have something work out.
Yeah, it may be that after the Sydney 500 or whatever it is they just did, that he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm too tired after racing that to
Yeah.
come to America and race next gens."
Has is it Trackhouse? Have they said anything about the Project 91? If they're gonna do anything with anybody?
There's a. I want to say that they have another driver set up, but I might be wrong.
Because I was curious. It was like who they would, who we added. Because like last year was cool seeing Jensen Button and Raikkonen race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they also have fuck, who am I thinking of?
Go
He
on.
raced at Watkins Glen the year before, but he raced at Coda, I think, last year.
Kobayashi?
No, that was who 2311 fielded.
Mm.
Fuck, it escapes me.
Okay, hold on.
Also, apparently they don't have anybody else scheduled for the 91 right now. Because Castroneves is the only person that's been listed as a driver for the 91. Or a
Oh
scheduled
yeah,
one.
Eddie. We were talking about Kimmy. Kimmy was there. We knew that, but they
Yeah.
because Kimmy was there, and then Jensen was in the 15 by Haas.
Rick Ware.
Or Rick Ware. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Haas.
Was it Juan?
No,
No.
Juan did race one time last year.
Yeah, but he ran 23. Maybe it was Kimmy I'm thinking of.
Did Kimmy run twice last year?
No, I thought he ran the year before at Watkins Glen.
Okay. Jacob said Montoya was in the 50. I remember that because didn't he
Yeah,
hit
that's-
everything pretty much?
Because that was the car that he went with or 2311. I can't speak. That's their like road course car. The
Okay.
50.
So I know Kimmy was there, and then didn't they have another like V8 supercar guy was in the field somewhere?
Yeah, that was Will Brown, I believe. That was fielded by RCR.
Okay.
What about the other one? There was another one, wasn't they?
Was there? 'Cause I thought
Kostecki?
I don't think Brody came over, did he?
I thought he did a race, but I can't remember what team he raced with though.
Because RCR and Spire are the only ones that I know that actually field. None of the Ford guys have come over to play with us.
Hold on.
Corey's grabbing his keyboard. He's like, I'm gonna
Wait, I've
find
been-
this shit.
Yeah,
out.
because I was thinking, I swear to God, I really thought that was like Brody Kostecki made
Cam
a
Waters.
start.
Cam, really? Cam did? Is Cam Waters his name?
Let's see, because this is Xfinity I'm looking at. Whoopsie.
I'm gonna look on my.
We're all freaking. Kostecki did get. Kostecki did run for RCR in 2023.
That's what I was thinking.
It was after Shane won the Chicago race, and they both raced at Indy.
Yeah,
when
it was the Indy road course. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking he ran.
And then they put Will Brown in last year, and Will was supposed to come back for a race this year. I don't know that. Allegedly he's coming back, but apparently he's not for this race.
Casey
Kane
Kane.
he'll be in Xfinity for the Rockingham race.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
And-
aged
and-
gracefully, by the way.
and
Man, still looks young.
Well,
it's gonna be weird to see him in a HendrickCars.com RCR fielded Chevrolet.
well,
You're
I just
teasing
don't-
Eddie, but he is coming back. Rockingham, I think, right?
yeah, it is going to be Rockingham. He will be racing the Xfinity race there.
I remember
It's gonna
him
be-
getting a win stolen from him there. If anybody remembers that back in the day
Cam Waters
when he
ran
was in the
sixth
9.
for RFK.
A win stolen.
I mean, yeah, you know what I. Shut up,
What,
Corey.
kids that beat him to the line?
Shut up, Corey. It was a long time ago.
Kind of like Mark Martin got the Daytona 500 taken from
That
him
was
when
the
they-
best fucking tweet after the caution thing before the 500 was
Yeah.
Mark put up the tweet of him ahead of Kevin and
Yep.
when the wreck started and he goes, "What about this?" That's all he said. He was like, "What about this?"
Well, like in every other instance at the 500, that was a caution. So he is somewhat justified.
Anyone going to when is the Rockingham race this year?
That's within like 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
Is it? I mean, the Rock's
it-
only like 2.5 hours from me.
Actually, wait, no, I think that's an April race because that's when we have the Easter. It's Easter weekend because the Cup Series has a day off or a week off that race.
No, Garrett, you're only an hour from Charlotte. Why don't you go to the race every year? April 19th.
Yeah, you went last year.
I did. I have gone the last 3 years.
I've
Garrett,
been
you're an hour and a half
talking
from
about.
Bristol. Why don't you go to that every year?
I've been talking with a friend about maybe going to Michigan for that race.
Well, I know a certain crew that's in our chat that drove 9 hours to Martinsville. Speaking of the Musos, I would have. I could not do 9 hours in the car with some of y'all. I would. Tony
I
would have
couldn't
to
do
ride
7
somewhere
by
else.
I just leave him. I just leave him behind.
Tony's gonna have to catch a bus. I'm not carrying him.
Hell, I remember driving from my house to Richmond, and that was like 7 hours, and I hated it.
Oh yeah, 'cause you gotta
So
go,
I'll never.
you gotta like go up into Kentucky, don't you, and over. Did it take
Think
you-
what? No, it was the Kentucky way because it was all back roads. I remember that. I was like, this is miserable. Because I remember it was like 7 hours and 24 minutes, and I'll never do that again. And that little fucking Kia Forte I rented.
Eddie said rough drive home.
Yeah,
Because y'all
Yeah,
didn't
I
stay the
believe it.
weekend, did you, Eddie? You actually drove to Martinsville for the race and drove back. Y'all are
Oh, that sounds miserable.
why? Y'all, you hate yourselves? Oh, look at Jacob. I did 24 hours twice to Florida, so 9 hours is nothing. Excuse me, Mr. Badass over here. My bad.
I gave him a medal.
I'll send
When I-
you a cookie whenever you want it.
You know, technically, I could say that I've driven on the Chicago street course because when I came back from New York, I took a break to drive on on the roads that are actually Chicago.
I'm sorry. Eddie ratted Jacob out. He's like, he didn't drive. That's why he could do it.
I will
Now
say,
I got the Musos arguing in chat, so this is fun.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there we go.
if you drive alone for 12 hours, it's miserable.
Yeah, 'cause you're
So I
just
did
talking
that
to
with-
yourself.
You just listen, like you've listened to every song that you want to listen to, like.
I can only listen
you're
to
on
so many
different YouTube
podcasts.
videos.
Like,
Well, see, like what made it good for me, like for example, I went to Indianapolis. That's like a good 5-hour drive.
right.
Which what worked out for me was like you had Sirius XM with the morning drive. I listened to it, and then like on my way back is when you had that. Then you had Denny's podcast, and then you had DBC, which that kind of kept me occupied for the most because that's probably a good 3-ish hours or so of that time being took care of. So it kind of worked out. But yeah, I know like with Winslow, like if you're trying to listen to the same old songs and it just then you start hearing voices in your head. And yeah.
By the way, if you ever drive in Northeast U.S., fucking these toll roads, they got you fucking by the balls. You go and check they got these little stops on the side there so that you don't get off the toll road, and it's like gas is like $1 a gallon more on those little stop roads, and
Well,
it is just
It's where all the Musos
Terrible.
are. I'm sure they could tell us that.
Just
How
driving
them
through,
toll
like,
roads treating y'all
Ohio.
up there?
Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. It was fucking miserable when I
Jacob's like,
drove up.
shit sucks.
Also, what a shit thing. I drove out to New York to watch the fucking Packers lose to Tommy DeVito. Fucking.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
You deserve that for driving that far for that.
Well, I was also seeing some friends out there. I actually
Oh.
thought about like stopping out and seeing Eric while I was out there. I'm like, hey Eric, are you gonna be available? And he's like, nah, and I'm like, all right.
No way, it's gonna be a, hey Eric, are you available?
Oh, no.
I want to say I did.
Eddie just
I
said
wanna
I'm done
say I-
going to races. Last 3-4 races, Blaney won.
Hey.
So
that
no,
means you gotta go to more.
that means
you gotta go
Eric's,
to more.
Eric's gonna tell you, Eddie, that you got to go to more because when you go, Blaney wins.
I was about to say Eric will personally book you to these
He's like,
races.
Eric will be like, I'll pay for your ticket and your gas. Can you just go?
Shit, no shit.
Because as soon
I don't know.
Eric finds
Why
out
did
that
Blaney go
Eddie's
35
going.
and 36?
Eric finds out Eddie's going, and he's just like, bet. Immediately starts
Yeah.
betting on Blaney to win. Charlotte. Well, I was at the last year when he won the 600. I was up front for that when he won in the body armor car.
That was cool. That was a cool car.
That 600 actually wasn't bad. You were there? Where were you
Is that
sitting?
the one?
Where were
Is
you
that
sitting?
the one where Reddick was it that went across the grass and freaking?
No, it was
Or
Byron.
was it? That was Byron.
Yeah, right in front of me. I was on the front row. I got to see it right in front of me when he did it.
That was so
Also
cool.
I also got to see it front row whenever Chase turned Denny in the wall. It was also happened right in front of me.
Oh yeah.
And as much as Chase wants to say, we all saw him turn left. It was funny because even the Chase fans near me were like, "Yeah, we saw that."
Dude,
There's
that's
no
actually
hiding
one of
that.
the things that. That's one of the things that turned me off to Chase was like, come on, that was stupid, stupid.
So, oh wait, hold on. Chase dumped Hamlin in front of you. Eddie, were you sitting near me? That would be weird if you were sitting like it happened directly in front of me.
They were fucking two people apart, didn't even have a clue about
Yeah,
each
like
other.
Eddie was sitting next to me, and I didn't know who he was. Like,
The guy that was wearing the Chase Elliott T-shirt.
I was sitting-
Well, dude, it's like with me and Eric and Travis and all that. It was like I went with another group of guys at Richmond, and we was sitting over like just before turn 1. Eric and Travis and Whitley and all them was all the way in turns 4, and we never knew it till like years later. We went to the same race and never knew.
Oh, Whitley actually went.
Yeah.
Oh, you were a
I
good
see.
way up the. Okay, because I was on the very front row, so I paid, money.
So,
Well,
when are all the-
how else do you pay?
Well, wink, wink.
Should I
Jacob
brush my
said
teeth?
at a Syracuse game they sat in the same section as Eric.
Yeah, and I don't know why they couldn't. Yeah, because I remember Eric talking about that. I remember that
Wasn't there-
now.
I want to say there was an entire thing in Discord where they like either they posted a picture or Eric posted a picture of the game, and then then they responded with the thing where they're sitting, and they're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry you went to a Syracuse game, but
Well, hey, that was probably if I think it's correct, I think it's the one that they beat Miami.
never mind
think
that.
that
I'm
was the
glad
one.
you went to that game.
I think I can't remember, but I think that was the one.
Because fuck Miami. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, it's a good day when Alabama loses.
Yes.
It's a good day when Duke loses. It's a good day when, well, it's a funny day when LSU loses. Sorry, Travis. Not sorry. That's when Cuse got ranked for what, a week?
Yeah.
But
That
then-
I think it was like after they beat Miami is when the next week they got ranked.
and then they were gone the next.
I'm trying to think of who they. See, I remember when Eric and them, they ended up going. I think it's when they went against Georgia Tech. I think it was, and I think Syracuse won that game, and I think that's been the only 2 games that he's win over there. At the Syracuse games is that those 2.
Yeah, but we hear when they lose. Oh, Cuse lost again.
I wish Google had it where when you like looked up something that went through toll roads, it told you about how much you're gonna pay in tolls.
It's a Georgia Tech game. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it was.
Does Michigan have toll roads?
Yeah.
I know one thing though. I know on my way to Richmond, they had those little tolls where you have to throw the quarters at it and stuff. And I remember me and all my buddies, we were just trying to just feed that toll booth, and there was one guy who was driving, worst aim ever. Like we had like 3 quarters, and he just threw them all the way towards like wide and left. And I'm like, God damn it! It's like that was all I had. It's like, so how else are we going to afford this now?
They got out of the car and went and grabbed all the quarters, put them back.
You see y'all scrambling out to like pick them up one by one. So it's like, this is all we have.
It's just
Well,
behind them.
I'm just glad. Well, I'm just glad they didn't ask me to get out because I was in the middle seat. So
Oh,
yeah,
All
we
right,
was all
Corey.
we was all crammed into like some kind of fucking Buick or something like that.
All right, Corey, crawl over.
for how long of a ride?
That one was like an hour
Oh,
from the house that we stayed at.
if it's just an hour, I was about to say you were like saying like 5 or 6, man. Just go ahead and take my foot off. Like
Oh yeah, no,
I
no,
don't
I
know. I mean, I'm a hefty feller. I ain't sitting in the middle. Jacob said, "Watch out, loose child running across the road."
yeah, no shit.
No,
Why do
I-
you think he's got the camera pointed downwards?
Oh, I don't. Thankfully, I've only been up in the Northeast like only a few times, and I never really had to deal with the toll roads that much. Like, I have no
That neither.
reason to go to the Northeast.
That's the beautiful thing about Wisconsin is that there are no toll roads. But the minute you
Hey,
get into
there's-
Illinois, there's a fucking toll road.
There's none in North Carolina either. Surprise!
There's a lot in Florida.
There are
Fuck
tons
Florida.
in Florida. Oh my god.
I go there for vacation. I leave. Like, I have no other reason to stay.
Hey, I know one thing though. When I went over to when I was going to Indianapolis, I had that small little section where I went to Ohio, and I instantly felt like an asshole. And then, well, you know how Ohio people are. They just act like a bunch of assholes. You know.
Yeah.
So I acted like that until I went to the Indiana state line, and I felt better. You know.
I went
Either
in,
way.
I pulled off of the interstate in Ohio just to use the restroom on my way back from New York. And I go into this place. It is gated up like at the register and everything. And there's so many like just gates around everything in there. I'm like,
That checks out.
and I'm like, hey, do you have a restroom I can use? And dude just yells, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, bye.
Sounds like I'm pissing out back.
I think I ended up
Pop a
like,
squat.
I got a couple miles down the interstate where it was just like kind of nothing, and I just pulled over and pissed on the side of the road.
So I drove from down here to Cedar Point, up in the probably the most northern part of Ohio. I think was because it's right across the water from Detroit. And like once I drove through Cincinnati, dump town by the way. It's just like nothing but corn after that. I was like, okay, was this Nebraska? Like what?
That's
what's going-
corn.
Yeah, it was. It's like corn after corn after corn. It was just like everywhere was just fucking corn. And I was like, how do these people have such a high crime rate up here? It's just like half the state is corn.
Because fucking Cleveland.
Well,
That fucking city. That city is pretty rough looking.
yeah.
And Philadelphia, isn't it? That in Ohio?
Well, it's funny you just said that because Jacob says PA sucks to drive through. Philly can get
no.
you can bomb the city of Philly and
No.
I'll be fine.
I agree 100% that the PA sucks to drive through. Their fucking interstate speeds are in like 10 mile an hour slower than the surrounding states, and it's fucking miserable.
Jacob, your teammate may disagree with me, but if a meteor hit Philly, I'd be all right. Like
Racing.
racing Amish.
I can't say much. I got the same thing going on up
Say,
here in
do
Wisconsin.
the Amish have to pay the tolls on the toll road, or do they have like a? Shut up, Eddie. Get that bird's crap out of here. You only had me cheer for you one time, is because you were playing Patrick Mahomes. You're welcome. It's the one time you get me.
Yeah.
But the Amish have to, I wonder if the Amish have to pay toll roads, or can they just like go around it? Like, I got a buggy, just shh.
I don't know if they got a wagon tax or anything like that on there. Maybe not.
Wagon tax.
Also, if there's going to be a toll road, be like Indiana or New York, where it's just a drive through it and it scans your license plate toll.
That's how
Because-
Florida is.
That's so much nicer than actually having to stop and pay the toll and then go again.
I know, because I could
It
just
is
switch
so-
license plates. Yeah, and just flip it over and like, oh, guess who? It's not me.
He's got a little actuator in the car that he sees the
He
thing
said,
come
"Not
out.
me."
Yeah,
Like,
that's going to someone else. Don't know who.
dude, when I was in New York, there's one that this Ferrari came flying down the road. It's like gotta be doing like 150 because like I heard the car for a second and then it passed me, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I don't know if the fucking toll could have got him with how fast he was going.
Why didn't you race him?
Because I was in a little fucking Buick SUV. Goddamn
That's fine. See what it'll do. That's okay. See what it'll do. Maybe it'll do something. What's the worst that happen? He runs into you? That's more money on him, not you.
I just fucking pull out to block and I get fucking
Life
just-
hack. Change lanes to block. Dale style. See what happens.
life hack. That fucking Ferrari driver is dead.
You hit a what?
Jacob
Had
said
a little
side draft
Buick.
him.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna side draft you on the interstate now.
Be the side drafting I did at Daytona for the duel.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Not that kind of side drafting. That's rubbing, sir. That's not side drafting. That's wrecking.
I did not turn left. He did. He turned right.
I was turning left. Well, hour and a half, gentlemen. We're gonna wrap it up. I think hour and a half's good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, as we're heading towards the next week with Phoenix. Got Coda over the weekend for everybody who's gonna watch and bet. I might throw a couple bets down this weekend just to throw
Like
it
I
out.
said,
I'll probably
that Kyle Larson bet.
I may bet on like the top 3 or top 5 finish. I'd hate betting on winner because it's just such a shot in the dark sometimes. So
I'm gonna do head-to-heads.
yeah, there's the thought. And let's see.
I got that thing in Eric's pool. I'm dead last right now. I have chosen the worst person both times.
Well, who'd you choose?
I chose Ross Chastain for the 500.
Ooh.
Dies in the first fucking wreck.
Ooh.
And guess who I fucking choose for Atlanta?
My Brad.
Daniel Suarez.
Why?
Because of last year. He's been good at Atlanta. And he finishes 33rd. Fucking
Jordan?
it's not good. You're only allowed 2 fucking runs, and I wanted to save some of the people for the midseason.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Remind me never to ask you for advice to bet on anything.
Hey, I wanted to save some of the other I wanted to save some of the other people for later in the stretch. Like I don't want to use like a William Byron right away.
Why not?
I should have, but because I feel like he's gonna do better at like the mile or some of the mile and a half tracks.
Jacob said Daniel equals ass.
I thought Suarez would have been a good pick for a super speedway.
And see, Jacob, this is why I wanted to do the podcast live. This is why here. Right
You
here.
know, I wish I could choose Connor Zilic for fucking next week, but I've got AJ Allmendinger on that.
Is that the league where you have to choose? It's like
It's the entire season's already chose.
so you have to choose a different driver every week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're allowed to you're only allowed to use one repeat for every driver. So
Okay.
technically you can use every driver twice.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Probably gonna be doing this podcast, guys, every Friday, around 8, 9 at this time, depending on everybody's work schedule. Hopefully, our other 2 colleagues will decide to join us at some point. But I will be posting it probably in the Discord. May post the VOD if people need a link to the VOD, I will post it. Because actually, with Twitch, you can listen back on stuff without having to have a subscription, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Twitch will eventually just fall off though.
Well, it didn't for me. I listened to the whole thing of somebody something the other day. I could be wrong on that. But if there's enough interest, I can also be posting it to Spotify if people want it. If they want that going forward. So, we'll wrap it up here. And we will see y'all. First, we'll see you at the race next week. And then we'll see you for the podcast next Friday as well. So, we will catch y'all on the flip-flop, as my colleague likes to say.
Yeehaw.